So in this video, I will show you a creative lighting technique that you can do in your small home studio with the use of two Speedlights. So hi everyone, this is Jiggie, a portrait and wedding photographer from the Philippines, and welcome to the channel. So before anything else, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel and would want to learn more about off-camera flash photography, then this channel is for you. So you might want to consider subscribing, and while you're at it, click that notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. And if you want to see more of my images, you could also find me on Instagram. It's at Jiggie Alejandrino. So welcome again to my small home studio. As you can see here, I have two backdrops set up, one in white, one in gray. I actually used this for a previous shoot. If you want to see the output of this particular setup, I will put the link in the description below. But when I was actually setting this one up, I saw something very interesting happen, and that's the reason why this shoot came about. In other words, when I had all my other ambient light on, I saw that there was a nice line here created by a very nice shadow, and I was like, interesting, maybe I could actually try to replicate that using my flash. So the flash that I'm going to use to create that very nice shadow here will be this one. This is my Sony f60RM. It is mounted on the Magmod Mag shoe, and at the same time I have the Magmod Mag sphere installed. Now the reason why I want this particular light setup is because it mimics my normal lighting, not this video light, but my normal overhead lighting. So in other words, it gives something very similar to that as maybe an open bulb or a bare bulb. And by doing that, will actually put this here. As you can see, it's on a boom. I will put it behind the backdrop so that the light will actually shine on this white backdrop and create a nice shadow here because of the way the modifier is put in place. You guys will see it later, okay? So now I knew that this white backdrop wasn't really, let's say, light proof, or it doesn't block light. So by putting a light behind it, it will actually make this area glow. And then what I have here is my reflector on a reflector holder, and this time I will be using the golden side or the gold side because I want the light coming back even warmer to give that look as if it were a sunset, or it was giving that golden glow, right? Though, unfortunately, I don't think this one will be enough. So that's why I have here, just in case, another Speedlight. This is by Sony, also an f45RM, also mounted in the Magmod Mag shoe, but this time I have the Mag Snoot installed. The Mag Snoot, the purpose of this one is really just to be able to focus the light on my subject's face, and at the same time I have it gelled with a CTO gel to match the color that will be coming out from this one, okay? So let's see how this one will turn out. But before that, let's go to my camera and my camera settings. So the camera that I'm using is my Sony a7R Mark IV with a 24-70 2.8 lens. So you can see here, I actually have an external monitor, but this is not just a monitor, it is also a recorder. This is the Atomos Ninja V. The Atomos Ninja V's purpose is that it is getting the live feed from my camera. Basically, whatever my camera is seeing is being recorded here. Therefore, you are getting a straight out of camera view of what exactly it is that I am shooting, and therefore every single image that you will be seeing is straight out of camera unless stated otherwise. Now, a lot of people have been asking also, this is a small rig cage, and it is mounted on my Peak Design carbon fiber tripod. Now, I also have here, this is my Sony WRC1M remote commander. This is basically the one that controls my flash unit off camera. And one thing that I like about this Sony WRC1M is when I put it on top of my camera, it actually disables live view. In other words, it is not giving me an actual representation, because if not, this is basically what I'll be seeing. Let me show you. If I turn it off, you will see that it's pitch black. you're basically getting very, very little light, and it's very difficult for me to see what I am shooting. So the moment I turn it on, it disables live view. And another thing that I love about it is that if I press the button here, I can control my flash through the in-menu system of my camera. Okay, so what are my settings? My settings are 1/250 f2.8 ISO 100. The reason why my settings are like that is so that I can remove almost all existing ambient light. I am shooting at 2.8 just so that I can give a little of blur in the background, just slightly. ISO 100 because of course, the lower your ISO, the better the image quality. 1/250 is the flash sync speed of my camera. Now, I have my white balance set at 6300 Kelvin because, as I said earlier in my intro, I wanted it to look like a sunset photo, so I want that golden glow. So I am pushing it even more by setting my white balance to 6300 Kelvin. However, if I find it too yellow or too warm later, I can always just change it, especially with the fact that number one, I'm shooting in RAW, and number two, I really do feel that white balance is subjective, so it depends on how the image turns out. Okay, and I have my focusing mode set also on AFC because the Sony cameras are just fantastic. They track the eye. Okay, so with that out of the way, I think it's time for me to call in my wife, Coco, who will be my subject for the day. Come on in, babe. Hi, babe.
Hi, babe.
And of course, you look fantastic, and we'd like to thank our friend Mela Jimenez for virtually assisting Coco put on her makeup for today. All right, so let me see. Let me try to angle this a little bit more, a little higher. There. Perfect. So let's go through this light setup one by one. As you can see, I already have my light over there, and it has a max speed, as I said earlier, and that is set on group A. So let's take one test shot already just on group A. You don't have to do anything yet, babe, okay? So there we go. Group A is giving us that nice streak of light there and that shadow, which is the basic premise of this entire shoot, all right? So let's say, for example, Coco gets into her pose now. Babe, can you get into your pose, please? So let's pretend, let's say you're being blinded by the sun and everything. There we go. Fantastic. Can you move back a little bit towards the white wall? Okay. All right. So with that, you can see that the problem is we are not getting any light on her face. Now, how do we solve that? Let us now put a reflector. So let's push it even more. Let's use the gold side, and let's try to bring some light in, okay? So let's take one more shot with the reflector. Very nice. But I don't think it's enough, that's the thing. The reflector in itself is not enough, and I'm already getting a nice hot spot there. Can you move forward, babe? There, so let's actually put her hand in the hot spot. Okay, babe, one more. There. Problem is now we are actually not getting any light on her face. That's why I actually have here another flash unit. Now earlier I said that I might use this one with a mag snoot and just focus on her eye. We'll actually see what that does. Okay? Let's get the mag snoot, focus it on her eye, and see how that one turns out. All right? Okay. Let me turn it on from my camera. Manual flash firing. And I'll take a test shot here just so that I can see where the light is hitting. Up higher. There we go. And see how that one looks like. It's actually okay. However, I don't want it to feel as if I actually put a light there. I want it to look as seamless as possible. So instead of actually using the mag snoot, what I will do is I'll just put this one here in front and bounce this light and just make this particular light stronger. So let's see how that one will look. Oh, it's just too strong. Okay, so now we make the light weaker. Maybe put it to 132 power, but we're getting there. Very nice. And maybe just a little bit weaker. Put it at, at 1/64th power. All right. Oh, beautiful. We're playing with so much shadows, lights and shadows. Okay, close your eyes, babe, when you do that. Good. Okay, can you exaggerate your legs a little bit more? This one, yeah? There.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Twist your hips towards me a bit. There. Okay. All right, good. Closer, your hand closer to your face. Good. Okay, so here we go. We're doing some creative lighting techniques here in the studio, basically with the use of this one, just a standard 5-in-1 reflector. Thank you very much again, babe. We use the gold side to give a warmer tone. I have here the Sony F60RM on a Mag Mod Mag shoe. I'm sorry if I made a mistake earlier if I said that it is the F45. I had the F60 here. I had another Sony F60RM over there on a boom with a Mag Mod Mag Spear. That's the one that created that shadow here. This was the one that created the main light. So I hope you guys enjoyed this very simple video. It's just, you know, us playing around in the studio. And if you did, please do consider subscribing to the channel. And while you're at it, click that notification bell if you want to get notified every time I upload a new video. Babe, again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at Jiggie Alejandrino. You could follow Coco also at Coco Alejandrino. Now, if you want to learn even more, I actually conduct one-on-one online workshops, the details of which is in the description below. All right? So till the next video.